Hello there, Experience. Welcome to the Experience once again. Today I will be doing a short review on Hartbeespoort, which is often referred to as Harties in the northwest. So that's outside Gauteng. So it took me roughly close to an hour to get to the destination. I was driving from Modderfontein, so that's more on the slight eastern side of Joburg, and the map made me drive towards Midrand or past Midrand, Deep Sloot, Krugersdorp, a bit of the Lanseria side. So it was a very pleasant drive. It's a very beautiful. It's got beautiful landscapes. Like a very nice day out of Gauteng, where you get to leave the buzz of the city. That's what I like about it. That side of Northwest, that you leave the busyness of the city and you get to be in a small town. It's got small town vibes. So I that was what I was particularly looking for, and what I wanted to experience was the Little Paris area, which has also got the the famous French toast restaurant. And I actually thought the restaurant was a separate place from the Little Paris, so it was actually quite interesting to learn that Little Paris is the area, as you can see from the video. It's an entire area that's got various stations, not stations per se, but restaurants. You know, they've got a salon, even they've got a photo booth. Those vintage photo booth vibes. They've got an aquarium, and then the French Toast is also a restaurant within the Little Paris place. So that was very interesting for me to learn, because I was quite mistaken about that. So basically, you enter into the Little Paris premises, where you'll find parking. So you'll park there if you've driven to the place. I think it gets busy. I got the impression that it probably gets busy, and the parking space might be an issue on busy days where, like, a lot of people actually come into the area to experience the the famous Paris-like tower. Yeah, yes, where people can put the padlocks, like love as lovers or as best friends, or even family can do that as well. But other than that, it was very easy to navigate around the place. It's not too much, there's not a lot going on. So that's essentially the main attraction, the tower. That's also similar to the famous Paris Tower, for people to put their padlocks. So, as I said, my main attraction here was to try out the French toast made by the French Toast restaurant, and I wasn't too impressed, but it wasn't also disappointing. It was okay. So I'm glad that I got to finally experience that. So in there was, I just decided to leave that in, the sound in, so that you can get a feel of what the vibe is like, the natural sounds that come from people having conversations, and whether it's laughter or just people talking amongst themselves. So it's a normal chilling spot, where, like an outdoor chilling spot where people enjoy food on a bright sunny day, and they just have a good time. There is music that plays in the background. It's very French like music. You can hear it as you walk around the area, by the restaurant, by the salon, as I mentioned before. Not so much by the aquarium side, but it's quite a nice vibe if you're into that kind of chilled environment. So as you can see, this place, Little Paris, it mirrors, it very much is like a rendition of the famous Eiffel Tower landmark in Paris. And the concept is the same. You know, people come to put on these padlocks. Some of them are very old. You can see that it dates they date back all the way to 5-10 years ago. And then some of them are new because it's still pretty much a tradition that people seem to enjoy to partake in. So I enjoyed it. I was alone, so there was no padlock to put on. I'm not even sure if it's something I want to do in any case, but it was lovely to watch couples and families even take photos and put on their padlocks, and it was a beautiful day. It's a nice way to really, like I said before, to get out of the city, to get some fresh air, and just to see or be around a place where people are just happy, but it's also not it's not a busy setup. It's a setup where people are just literally enjoying each other's company on a beautiful day out, and just connecting on a different level, I suppose. One of the things that I'd say is definitely different about it, if you compare it to the original Eiffel Tower, it closes at a certain time. Unfortunately, I forgot to confirm that. Whereas the Eiffel Tower, if you know, it pretty much opens for most of the day, if not 24 hours. I'm not sure, but because I've seen like people going there at night and stuff, I don't think you can have that experience here. I think it probably closes around 5, 4, around about that time in the afternoon. Also, just to clarify, there is no entrance fee. You enter into the premises free of charge. You would just simply pay for, obviously, the food you'd buy from the French Toast sit-down restaurant. You might buy a padlock if you're interested in that, or the photo booth that I mentioned, the vintage photo booth. I then drove to the aerial cableway to experience that. So it's about 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly, from Little Paris. So it's still within the area, just on a different side of the area. So the idea here was just to get an experience of the aerial cable car that goes up, as you can see from the video. It goes up from one point to another, all the way up to the mountainous area. There's literally nothing much more outside of that, but it's just an experience of going up in the air. And it's a ride that takes it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. So you basically you purchase the tickets by the ticket office. They currently cost about 280, and then you wait for your ticket number to be called out. Then you make your way to the cable car. I was alone, so I just I had to ride up with random people. Some of the cable cars take 2 people, but basically they can take any number of people, up to 8 people per cable car. Then it takes you up to the other part of the aerial area, where you then find restaurants, and you also get to experience the view of things like the Harties Dam. So also there is a bit of a sidewalk trail. It's quite nice, well designed. It's got certain sections where you can stop and read fun facts, like something about the origin of Gold Reef City. So I thought that was a nice touch, and it also gives you the view. So as you walk around this trail, you also get the view of Harties, most of it, especially that area with the dam and that side of Harties. So all in all, I'd say it was a good day, and I would recommend it to anyone who wants to take time off Joburg and wants to experience Harties and what it has to offer. Unfortunately, I only got to experience those 2 things, Little Paris as well as the Cableway cable car, but it was a good day, and I certainly would come back.